Hello, my lovelies.
Hey,
Hello, welcome back. Mia and Helen are back to talk. Well, is it Mandalorian or Boba Fett? We don't really know. We're a
it's
bit
Mandalorian.
confused. It was basically the first episode of season 3 of The Mandalorian, which we'll discuss. Oh my god, imagine if I would do a thumbnail about Mandalorian season 3. That would be hilarious. Anyway. So Mia, we always start this with how did you like it? How would you rate it? Go.
So, okay, I would rate it like 13 out of 10. It was really, well, it was the best. It was the best, the Book of Boba Fett episode yet. I just feel
Yeah.
kind of sad saying that because Boba was not even in it. But that also made me feel like how much I love the Mandalorian. And it just,
Yeah.
it's like Boba is great. I love Boba. Huh? But
Yeah.
but Mando is so charismatic. There is something about, and
Yeah.
just when he appears and you hear the music, it's like it takes you like, oh, you can't wait for a new show now. There's so many. What can happen? What can happen? Who could come? Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
excited, super
And
excited.
so I feel exactly the same. I mean, I wouldn't, 13, whatever. Yeah, out of the scale. I even would say this was one of my favorite Mandalorian, even if it would be the favorite Mandalorian episode or with Mandalorian in it. But
Yeah,
yeah, I really think I thought about it because we're recording this on a Friday. We're not recording this mea culpa, people. We were a bit busy, or I was. But the thing is, I think because they told us a lot, the armorer told us a lot about the law of Mandalore. And I
yeah,
think, all these history lessons and all that is what I enjoy. And I think a lot of people enjoy. And we never got that. Not that much from Boba. We got his flashbacks, but it didn't have anything to do with his father. We literally got like mini tiny flashbacks. They could have, that
yeah.
moments, these
I
moments he
agree.
had. Yeah, there could be more of that, and the Mandalorian gave us that because they told us about the story of the planet.
We got back to Clone Wars. We got back to Rebels. So
Yes.
everything was intertwined and connected. So even there was a like cute little Easter egg. There was a guy who was wearing the same outfit that was the guy wearing in Han Solo movie. So even when you look at
Oh,
that, like there are so many connections.
yeah.
I loved it. This was my utmost favorite. Oh, by the way, I
Yeah.
cut my finger today, and guess what? I have
Of
Star
course.
Wars. I
Of
have
course you
Star
do. Of course. I always when I give this to my friends who have children because they're actually really cool. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
my
we
kids chose it. My daughter chose it.
Of course. She's also a dark side user like you are. Anyway, so we loved it. And yes, spoiler people who haven't watched it, yes, there is literally zero Boba Fett in it. But I mean, at the end, we get Fennec. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, okay, we got
Um,
3 seconds. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But it was important, so it was good. So the slaughterhouse scene. Is there anything?
It was too. It was not so Star Warsy, honestly. To me,
Yes.
I don't like when the scenes from Star Wars are not Star Warsy. Are not. That was kind of misplaced. It really looked like a
Yeah.
pig, right? Like a pork. It didn't look like. And I was at least you would expect something like some weirder shapes, like we've seen on Boba's table
Yeah.
already by now. It
Yeah.
was just, yeah, it was just a scene. What did you think of
Yeah.
that one?
No, it took me a bit out of world because as
Hmm.
you say, just like with these kids with these flashy motorbikes, the whatever they were called, this gang. So it felt a bit weird. It felt too, yeah, like our world. And there's I don't know if you like Rocky, but there is that one scene where
I know,
he
I know.
like a training
When
montage,
he's
yeah,
training, yeah.
and it's literally like that, but okay, anyway.
Maybe it was on purpose, like the
Yeah.
connection
I
that
mean the
was.
planet I mean the planet was different, right? Yes, it was a Star Wars planet, but the planet was different. Like the whole look and feel of the planet was very modern, very
Hmm, hmm.
fantasy world that could be, I know I'm not a big like other fantasy. I'm not a big fan of these Enterprise and that stuff. How's it called? Sorry.
Star
Star
Trek,
Trek. Yeah.
Star Trek. Yeah,
Like oh.
you're not a Trekkie.
But it
I
looked a
watched
bit
a
like that.
little bit. Mm,
Wouldn't you say like the
Really?
world, the planet?
I
Yeah,
don't
that would.
know. No, I think it could be
Okay.
that could belong to planet. Planet itself was okay. Just that
Yeah.
scene at the butcher, it was like
Yeah.
too much of like nowadays times for me. But you know what
No.
surprised me? The goriness. Well, it wasn't that gory, but like it's Disney, so I would never expect it when Mando cuts him in half. It really takes you back to old Star Wars,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. But I don't know what the age recommendation even is for this. I have no idea
Oh, I
because
didn't check. Yeah.
I don't have children, so I don't check that. But yeah. Anyway, so then he gets he brings him in cold basically.
Yeah, I can bring you in
um,
warm or cold. Cold is
yeah,
gonna work.
cold is working.
Yes.
And yeah, so he has no interest, in the next job because he literally just did
I
that
just
for
want
the
an
information.
information.
Yeah, so that was pretty clear. He's not after money, although he kind of needs money because his ship, and I totally forgot because it's been a while, since I watched Mando, and I was like, huh, what is it with, oh yes, his ship blew
This is
up.
the since he doesn't have a Razor Crest now, he travels economy. It was just too funny.
That is epic.
That was
Yeah.
hilarious. I love the humor, and when he was saying like, okay, if I see this Kaba Baez or whatever Baez is his name, like I'm gonna let you know, and I see him right now.
Yeah,
You're
yeah, yeah.
standing in front of me, and also the elevator bit when he's holding his
Oh
head
my
and
God.
going to
Yes.
this crime
Yeah,
lords or
and the
whatever
other
they
guy
are,
is like looking at
like
him.
like and he looks back. No, 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 it wasn't me. It wasn't me. That was cool, and the shot was really cool. It looked like one shot. The whole
Yes.
scene from elevator coming out and then coming back, getting off on the next floor. That was from my point of view.
Hmm.
That was a really cool shot. I loved it.
Hmm. Yeah, liked it too. So, and then he finds the armorer. Did you expect the armorer? First thing when he tries to find her, you see the signs, and apparently this is what I thought, that only with the Mandalorian helmet you can see the signs, right?
Yeah, I
The
think so
hidden.
as well.
I would say so, yeah. And yeah, so he found her. I mean, I was kind of spoiled by somebody, so okay, I knew beforehand, but I didn't think she was alive because in the last scene we saw, the troops came in, and I thought, well, she didn't make it, which is a bit, I'm very conspiracy theory. So how did she make it? Is she, like kind of tinfoil theory now? Is she kind of working with them? Did she struck a deal to survive? I don't
For
know.
me, I have more questions about her. For me, is about her helmet. You know how uh, her
Yes.
helmet
Yeah.
has horns, which reminds of a mole. So I was
Yes.
thinking, like, well, the fact is they were on Concordia. That's how they survived, right?
Yes.
That's what
Yeah.
she said. That's the only reason. And we know
Yeah.
that the Night Watch. We know that from Clone Wars that
Yeah.
they went to Concordia and that they were
Yeah.
there. And now who knows who she was actually following? Maybe she was a follower of Darth Maul for his little
Mhm.
bit of reign there.
Yeah.
So I'm also wondering about her. I'm wondering, and also one
Mhm.
thing that was like weird. They are very they are very religious. They don't want to
Yes.
step out of it even for a little bit. But
Yeah.
also it makes them so picky. There's three of us left now. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But you're no longer Mandalorian. You removed your helmet.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and especially like if you did watch, and I saw that part of the Clone Wars, and of course in Mandalorian, we see that not all of them. Some are pacifists. Some don't even wear. Don't. Some remove helmets normally. So it's only
Yes,
their
Duchess
their
Satine was, yeah,
culture.
that, yeah,
Yeah,
Duchess
she was a
Satine
pacifist.
was, she stood for the pacifist movement, and they voted
Exactly.
her, as the ruler of Mandalore. And yeah, but these, the people who were on the moon of Concordia, they were, yeah, well, I mean, it
Well,
extremists, whatever you want to call
well,
them.
I mean, everyone was there from the Night Watch, right? But
Yeah,
but they have some creed that they follow that's completely different, this helmet
Yes.
removal, and this
Yeah.
is the way. This I do like loyalty and solidarity, I have to
Yeah.
say.
Because
I
Paz Vizsla, he also removed his helmet during Clone Wars all the time, if you
Exactly.
remember.
Yeah,
Yeah. He
yeah.
was wearing it. Yeah.
So this was like something really extreme,
Yeah.
and who knows, maybe, I mean, maybe also they survived because they really believe, like, it's, I don't I don't like when it gets
Yeah,
to that point,
it
like too
shows you
much.
the it completely sets them up, like, they're the complete opposite of what Bo-Katan will do and did. So I really do think that this is what, and maybe Mando now is in the middle, because yes, he had removed his helmet, right? But his head and his beliefs are still,
Exactly.
with the armorer and with that side of being a Mandalorian. And Bo-Katan is somebody completely different, and she, the armorer, even, like the way she speaks about Bo-Katan is basically telling Mando, she did something wrong. This is why, it went,
Yeah, like a
not so
cautionary tale.
well for us.
What I didn't understand was she trying to say that this night of thousand years happened because Bo-Katan did what she did, or maybe that it just she's like a cautionary tale in a sense that she doesn't blame it on her, but she did it in the wrong way, and now this happened. I don't know what she was trying to insinuate there.
The way their religion is seems also very myth, that there's a lot of witch, she's almost like a witch, not like the witches of Dathomir or
That
anything like
no.
that, but she is a bit witchy in how she does things, and then she puts potions in the thing, so the whole thing,
Yeah,
it gives me a witchy vibe. So she might believe in those things like prophecy, and I think for her, Bo-Katan did wrong in accepting the dark saber from Sabine, which
yeah.
happened but it didn't even happen
In
in
Rebels.
Clone Wars. It happened
No,
in
no, that happened
Rebels.
in Rebels. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So she gave Sabine, who's also, and how the armor spoke about the houses is also very interesting, because she says, but then the guy who's with her is basically from House Vizsla, which is
Exactly.
interesting. But
From
she
Tar
speaks
Vizsla
like,
who forged it in the end.
yeah, yeah. So she speaks a bit against the power of the houses, right? So you don't rule by blood, which happened for a really, really long time in Mandalore.
Mm.
And you see Sabine's family, the Ren clan, is very, very powerful as well. Obviously, the Vizslas are still very powerful, or were powerful in Mandalore, and they wanted to establish a kind of rule through blood, through lineage, right? But she is completely against this,
No, yeah, has
and
to be by the creed, by the creed. That's what makes me feel she's a
yeah,
little bit extra. I feel like she shouldn't be so picky at this point. There's so little
yeah.
uh, of them
Yeah,
left. But at the same time, this is cool because that means in the Mando, we're gonna see him probably going to Mandalore. We're gonna see
yeah,
what happens. How does he redeem himself by bathing in
yeah,
the water, right, in the mines under the planet? So who knows what
yeah,
happens? I'm curious. This is great.
yeah.
Uh,
But the good thing I feel about her is the whole foundling thing, because she really always liked the idea of Mando bringing in, and giving to the foundlings. This is really important, and all the other families. You feel the families who think of this as a ruling by blood, they're very snobby. They
mm,
don't think foundlings are somebody, like Boba's father. They're not real Mandalorians. They don't have these old names. But she is very different. She says, if you follow our rules, if you don't, if you wear the helmet, if you do this, if you do that, then you are a Mandalorian in my world, according to our religion. And I like that foundling idea, because it's not, yeah, but just the blood,
yeah,
which,
exactly. Yeah, it means they can rebuild easier in a
yes,
way, also
yeah,
because they can find more
yeah,
foundlings and doesn't matter. But also,
yeah,
I loved when she takes the spear and when he decides to make something for a foundling, but a special one
Oh
for
my,
Grogu. And that
oh my
little,
god.
did you see the package? It looked exactly like his little head.
It looked like with the
Yeah,
ears.
oh my
Yes, I
God.
loved
I
it.
was melting. I was melting totally.
Yeah, me too. And it will be something like, the knights had something like, I called it, like Frodo in The Lord of the Rings had his mithril armor thingy. It will be something like that, I'm
Yeah, I
pretty
think it's
sure.
gonna be like an armor from chain links.
Yes.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
something that can protect his little body, and what he's not gonna grow for a long time. Well, even Yoda wasn't that
Yeah.
big to start with, so and he
Yeah.
was a full grown. What's the name of their species though?
We don't know.
Yeah, I never even
No,
went
we
to
don't
history.
know. No, we
Oh,
don't.
okay.
We still don't know. I think we will find. Hopefully, we'll find out.
I hope
But no, we
so.
don't. Yeah, we don't know. But yeah, I really like that she was telling. It was very short, but she was telling, and people who know, Clone Wars and Rebels, they know a lot about, the law of Mandalore. But it was interesting still to hear it, and especially for people who don't know this, maybe they're interested now in, learning more because it is a really cool history. And you had a Jedi who was a Mandalorian once, right? Or the other
Exactly.
way around, a Mandalorian who was a Jedi once, because all we know is they fought each other
Yeah.
mainly.
Yeah.
But then, you had a Hutt who was a Jedi as well, but then became a Sith, which is one of the coolest stories ever. Did you know there was a Hutt Jedi?
No, 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 that I didn't know. I know,
Yeah,
I know about Ganji because I just came to that part in Clone Wars that he's the
yeah,
cutest Jedi I've ever seen. I mean, a little Wookiee Jedi. He's so
yeah,
adorable. We had
yeah.
to, my daughter and I watched this episode like 3 times already because she just cannot stop. Like, it's so cute. And when he just slides on his ass on the ice to his crystal, it's too.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, no. So it is interesting that, and when you know the old Knights of the Old Republic, I love, I love these games. And
I
other
tried.
things, the whole, yeah. So the whole law behind that is also, with Malek and all these people. So there are, the Jedi and the Mandalorians always fought for centuries, thousands of centuries. It wasn't just this patch; it was many, many wars before. So it is interesting that, that the lightsaber looked the way it looks. It's not a typical saber. And we learned, and I didn't know that. Did you know that the hilt was made out of Beskar?
Yeah. Well,
Oh, I didn't.
it's dark saber, but there's just one thing that confuses me. It was forged. It was created by Tar Vizsla, who was all
Yes.
Mandalorian and of course a Jedi. But it
Yeah.
doesn't seem to be working with the Force because of many
Yeah.
of people who don't really use Force can wield it. But then again, also Captain Grievous is not Force sensitive, and he wields
Yes.
all those
You can learn
sabers
it.
he stole.
Yeah,
So
you can learn
I
it. I'm not.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure if Kira is force sensitive, and she was trained by Maul. I think. Or look at the. Not that the new ones are canon to me, but Finn, that guy, Ray's friend,
exactly.
he
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think he's force sensitive, and he fought with the lightsabers. I think it
Exactly.
was
Yeah,
way too easy, but I think you can fight with a lightsaber, but you see how hard it actually is
yeah.
without
With
training. And if
exactly.
you remember Rebels, Sabine, who we just talked about, so
Hmm.
Sabine Wren, she won
She was also
basically.
trained. She was also saying how it's becoming lighter
Yes,
while actually becoming one with it. Yeah, that's something
yeah,
that the scene when he cuts himself, I was like, oh my god, how is he so clumsy? At first, I didn't even
yeah,
realize that the dark saber was like dragging on a floor, and that it seemed really heavy, and also it's very
yeah,
heavy when Paz Vizsla takes it in his hands,
yes, yeah,
and because I think he lost only because he didn't want to let go of it. That's the only reason he lost.
yeah,
Because if he let go of it and fought other techniques, maybe he would have even won. I
yeah.
mean, Mando was already hurt, but no, he was so proud. It's his house, so I'm not gonna let it go. Yeah.
Yeah, and I do think a bit this whole sword thing. more reminds me more of, Excalibur, right? So
Exactly. What
it
did
be
you
or
say?
like Thor's hammer, right? It only works with the right person. And this is, I think, with regular lightsabers it's different, because a lightsaber never gave you any power to rule anywhere. Yes, they were important, and like Darth Vader, he hunted these and these lightsabers down throughout the galaxy. But anyone could take over a lightsaber from somebody else. That was no problem at all. But this lightsaber is very symbolic. So maybe in forging it, they did weave in some magic. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
It's totally possible, because it reminds me, this right to rule and fight for it, and only the right person seems to be able to. Because I think Sabine was also the right person, and I think Boca could be, but I don't think she will. I think Boca is too revenge power. I need to. I didn't have the feeling when I watched Rebels, but when I watched this now, you feel Mando is the rightful ruler, Din is
I
the
think it's
rightful
Boba.
ruler.
I think it's Boba because they
Oh,
also
you
have,
think?
yeah, because
Yes,
you know that they have
yeah,
this story that the person who rides Mythosaur is gonna be the one who's gonna rule
I
all of Mandalore.
know,
And then
I
what do we
know.
get? When Boba, first of all, he was in Christmas special riding it. That's A. And B,
Yeah,
he was saying with a rancor in that
I
episode that
have
like
been.
I rode even a bigger beast. So I and because this is connecting now, and Mando is doing
Yeah.
this as a favor to him, I think it's going to be Boba, and I think this is going to be his army in future. But that's just my theory. Hey, I mean, could be,
Ooh,
could be, doesn't have to be, but yeah.
I like it. I like the theory. I thought for a second as well. Yeah, and Mando and Grogu, they do their
Th-
thing in the galaxy, and
They
they
will,
don't
they
want
will
to.
reunite for sure.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, and probably also now Mando in the beginning he's gonna need help of Luke to help him train with the dark saber because
Yes,
he
somebody
knows a
needs to.
Jedi. He's already going to see Grogu, so why not when he's there? Why wouldn't he train? And who do you
Yeah.
think we could see there training? I want to see Jedi. I'm hungry for some Jedi action. So I was
Well, I
really
mean, at
thrilled
that
with dark
time he
saber.
has. Yeah, at that time he has the school, right? So
Hmm.
Luke has the school during that time, so we can see a young what's his name? Young his nephew Ben Solo, Kylo.
Mm. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, we could see him.
indeed.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
we could even see a Leia hanging
Yeah, exactly.
around
They were
there.
training, so we could see her. But you said
She
that we
did
probably
train.
won't, so I'm like not even thinking about her anymore.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. So no, I think that is being set up that he will be trained by a Jedi, and yeah, I think Ashoka won't show up again. I mean, she's getting her own spin-off, but she's doing her own thing now, so I don't think it will be Ashoka.
I, I think she could show just in order for them to speak about Anakin because they both
Yeah.
have him in common. So I think
Yeah.
maybe they want to put a little bit of Vader stuff, which would make me really, really, really happy.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just wishful thinking, but it would be cool if they would come together, Ahsoka
Yeah.
and Luke. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but coming maybe back for a tiny bit to the mole thing, because I think I don't trust the armor. I don't.
Hmm.
I think there's something fishy about her, and the thing is, we won't see that play out in Book of Boba Fett. We will see
Yeah, I
that
don't
play
think
out
so.
in the Mandalorian. Overall, a question I forgot to ask that in the beginning: Are you mad that this was all about, because we lost one? We just have two more episodes, right, of Boba Fett. Are you mad? This, I mean, we loved it, we enjoyed it, but don't you think this is a weird choice of Disney to, because
I
they don't need to convince people to watch The Mandalorian. Many people were watching and loving the Man. Nobody complained. I don't know anyone that complained about The Mandalorian.
like I said, I really think that Boba Fett, this whole first season is just some kind of intro for what's to come. I don't know what this was a really weird choice. Like absolutely, I of course I'm not mad. I love Mandalorian, and
No,
this
yeah,
made me feel like which show do I like best? It
yeah,
made me almost feel like I have to like choose between. So of course it was weird not to see Boba, and it was
yeah,
weird that the best episode was without him in it and without any like what we saw. This was Mandalorian, so maybe they're gonna do crossover later. I think they shouldn't have done this. I think they should have gone with the more of the story and
yeah,
maybe more in chronological order in
yeah,
Book of Boba Fett, and then put Mandalorian, and then just make crossover like Flash and
yeah,
Legends and all this, like the
yeah.
Supergirl, like they
And
do.
you can have all that, set up of Mando coming back in. I assume he will come back literally last minute and save the day.
Mhm.
He won't be back in the next episode,
Oh
but
no, no,
you
for
could,
sure. He's going to see Grogu now, so that we
yeah,
know that, and probably now we're gonna see all the Pikes, and that's why it's a weird choice, because what would we rather see? Mando reuniting with Grogu, or we would rather see Pikes? I would rather see Grogu than
yeah,
Luke,
that's what
maybe.
I was feeling, and I was like,
Mm,
I don't know, Disney, if that worked in your favor, but at least
yeah,
people are hyped now for Mandalorian season 3. Um,
indeed.
but yeah, they could have had all that with just Fennec coming in, just showing Mando for 5 minutes, Fennec coming in, and telling him and asking him, "Hey, do you want to help us?" That could be all. But anyway, but we got now one of my favorite scene in all of Star Wars.
Which one?
When they were building the ship and the whole Pelimoto or whatever her name is,
Pelimoto,
like
yeah. Hmm.
Amy Sedaris, I think that's her name, the actress or comedian. Seriously, I love all
The
this,
Java bit was like too funny. I was laughing so hard.
and her speaking Java
Very
was
perfect. Yeah,
everything.
her speaking Java was amazing, and also it's furry.
And then she
I'm
was,
working
yeah,
on myself now. I'm working on myself.
I love that. I love that because apparently they were asking her something and she was like, "Nah, not really.
Yeah.
I'm doing a eat, pray, love thingy right now, so maybe later." But she is so funny, and the droids, like, I'm dying. They are so cute, and
Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
adorable.
yeah. So I love these scenes, and it was, again, it was funny, but not bad funny. It wasn't too childish. I completely loved it.
Yeah, me
um,
too.
and and yes, that was is also for children. So I think children also enjoy this humor and these little tiny things they're giving us.
It's
Yeah.
cool that his attitude towards droids changed.
Yes. Yeah.
That's very cool. And I also think that because now he doesn't have a space for astromech on the Starfighter, this could be a totally cool little spot for Grogu. Don't you think? It would be
Yeah.
perfect. I think they're setting up something, and I'm liking it. I'm loving it.
Yep. Yep. And the before he came to Perimoto, I loved the scene. When he was boarding this commercial ship,
Oh my
and
god!
he was like, this is how I feel at an airport, by the way, people.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
bring
yeah,
so much shit. I could totally relate to, obviously, I don't bring weapons, but I bring a
yeah.
lot of shit and
Oh, it's
shoes.
not part of your religion, okay?
No, well, shoes are. But it's so, this is how I feel, when you go to the gates and you have to go through the metal thingies
Exactly,
and put
exactly.
everything on. This is how I felt for him. But he was so funny when he said to the droid, I know what I put in there,
Yeah.
you know?
Especially he was like holding this dark saber, like should I not, like okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
but
yeah.
when he was taking out the wire, it's everything looked. I love that part, and it's
Yeah.
cool because I what I found out, sadly it wasn't there when I was in Disney, but this is a droid that greets you for a Disney ride. So I gotta
Oh,
go again. I have to go
yeah,
again. They have some new stuff, so I have
you
to go.
felt a bit they were selling this whole Star Wars experience, come to our theme parks a teeny
Mhm.
tiny bit,
I would
but
go.
it's
They don't
okay.
need to sell it to me. I'm there. I went to Disney World. It was part of my honeymoon. I know I'm such a child.
Okay.
to Universal and to Disney World, and it was awesome. But now I want to go again because now they have like more Star Wars stuff. So.
Yeah. So, and then Pelimosho has this epic Naboo starfighter. Didn't you get like, oh my god? And she said, the queen
It was
ordered
commissioned
that.
by the Queen.
I
Yeah.
mean, Amidala wasn't, there were many, many queens. They were always, re-elected. They had to be very young and blah, blah. There was a system behind it, but maybe it was her. We don't know. The
Who
time
knows?
frame could fit, and they looked the way. Even her ship, the flashy silver one, and that was in Phantom Menace. And I always loved that design. Although, it wasn't, run down, dirty Star Warsy, but I kind of loved those scenes in the Phantom Menace, and it was really cool.
I like it that he doesn't need that ring for a hyperdrive. That's really cool. How fast he was, and then like all those Easter eggs. There were so many on those scenes. That combustor that they were putting was the same one that Han was using to stop the trash from closing. Remember when
Yes.
this is the same piece. And then there was when he comes and say wizard. That's also what Anakin's best friend in prequel said to him when he drove, and he drove the same route as Anakin did. And the guys that want to give him a speeding ticket, those were the same guys that were in the episode 2 in my most feared episode in Mandalorian, because I have a total arachnophobia, and that was like with the big huge spiders. Those were the guys.
Yeah. I do think they will show up, apparently the Ranger of the New Republic is not happening now, but I think what I read, the actor, the Asian actor, the one with the beard, I think he hinted that he is keeping filming Star Wars stuff, so we will see them again. And yeah, I think, because the Ranger thingy was set up to be the Cara Dune spin-off, but that's not happening now. So let's see what will, where he will show up again. But he teased that he filmed more scenes, not necessary for Boba. He didn't say for what. Could be for Mando. But yeah, it's cool. They
But
had.
I think we're gonna see Luke on Boba, because that's the actor who was who was one of the officers before the deepfake. This is the actor who played Luke in Mandalorian. So I just feel like they wouldn't
the
just
stand-in.
put him
Okay.
for nothing. Yeah, they wouldn't just put him there. So it's possible we still see some Jedi action in the Book of Boba Fett. But yeah, it does feel a little bit like we've been ripped off of an episode of Boba, because we were mostly in the past before, and we were slowly building what's gonna happen. And now we saw Mando, which was amazing, but still, like, what was Boba doing? Just like sitting. He's not even in Bacta anymore. So what was he doing?
No, it took you out a bit. But again, coming back to that scene, I like the Jawas. They literally steal everything. They even steal from the bloody pikes. Like, shout out to the Jawas, like epic. I love
awesome.
that. They are awesome.
Very.
Very. She repeated that a lot, so she must have had some experiences. Yeah. So the pod race track was really cool. I enjoyed that, although I never liked the scene. It was too long for me personally. I don't like very long scenes. But it was cool that he drove parts of it there. And their FU is basically, and he used the Mandalorian used that before, is Denk Farrik.
That's my new curse nowadays. I don't use anything else. It's Denk Farrik.
And at work, and nobody knows in which tongue is she speaking. And it was really cool that he just didn't bother to being asked more questions, and then just boom, I'm gone, bye bye.
He's not on scanners anymore. You really want to go down and do paperwork? No, we're staying here. Whatever.
That was so cool. That is so, bureaucracy. I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So So prediction. I mean, that was basically it. And then he came back, and there was the scene with Fennec, and I liked that I don't know interaction, and that he's doing it for free because
Yeah,
it
I
can
like their
really,
encounter.
yeah.
Mm,
And yeah, so he will show up, but again, we have 2 episodes left, so he won't show up in the next one. He will
no,
come
I
in,
don't think
swoop
so.
in, I guess, last minute, saving the day with Grogu. I think Grogu will do some power. He learned stuff, so
Yeah, of
um, I
course.
I think Grogu will come in with some magic tricks, and then this will set up, oh, Boba has some really powerful friends, effing Jedi's. So maybe let's not fuck with Boba in the future.
But
This could,
I still think Kira is gonna show up. So I don't think this is done.
you
Maybe
think?
maybe Grogu. Yeah, there was also something about the when you watch the end at the end the map above that planet there is a ship that used to belong to Darth Maul, which is
Oh,
now her
okay.
ship. So maybe it's something, maybe it's nothing. I don't know, but I
Yeah,
still think that she is going to show up as a main bad guy,
I think so.
and
Yeah,
then Boba is going to need more muscle. Mandalorian is going
yeah,
to be one, but I believe that we're going to see some more. Now I don't know Bosk if he's gonna show
yeah,
or not. Cat Bane is probably gonna be with Kira if he does show up. I
yeah.
think he's not gonna be for Boba. I'm
No.
curious. I'm really curious who are they gonna bring. Um, and I'm kind of hoping they're gonna surprise us with episode 8.
Yeah, but it could be cool
Honestly.
because Kira learned a lot from Maul, and so there could be a lightsaber duel, because what we got in Ashoka fighting, what we in the Mandalorian, or when we got Luke, it wasn't a fair fight because it was a very powerful Jedi fighting, clone troopers and whatnot. So you could get a bit of a better duel, which I'm here for.
Totally.
um yeah, so let's see. So that's, yeah, I also believe in the cure. And we still have these rumors out there that apparently Han filmed, Harrison Ford is his name, Han.
Han. It's Han.
um yeah, well, he's also Indiana Jones, so
Yeah, exactly. No, but Han.
yeah, Han. That Han filmed scenes as well. We don't know if it's not confirmed, but what if Han and Kira? I recently watched Solo again with my dad.
Me too.
Um,
Not with that, but
yeah,
by myself. I watched it again.
yeah,
Yeah, I wanted to see
yeah.
some things.
And that could also be interesting if they meet it. But then this would all be, this would be the same. This would distract from the whole Boba plot because then this is about Luke and Jedi schools and
And the
Han and,
triangle with Leia there, and yeah, I
yeah,
don't know. That would be too much. I would like it to stay about Boba and that
yeah,
he does. I believe really that he's gonna be big in Mandalorian, that he's
yeah.
gonna be the one doing something. So who knows what? Maybe that's why. Maybe because they're gonna make the whole episode of Boba in
Mhm.
Mandalorian. Maybe that's why they did this. I mean, who knows what's behind Disney mind? I'm
Yeah.
curious.
Let's see, but I think we're both excited for the finale, penultimate, and final episode coming next Wednesday. And people, we will cover it on Wednesdays again, so it will drop
We'll
early.
try. We'll try.
Yeah. So, Mia, thank you very much. That was fun. Yeah, it's, yeah, again, favorite episode so far, but we're hopeful for a good finale, and some resolutions and some more people we know coming back in. Good.
Couldn't have said it better. Okay.
Yay. So,
So
thank you,
see
my
you on
lovelies.
Wednesday. I couldn't wait to talk to you about all this. It
I
was like
know. I wait all week to talk to you about this. Good. Okay. Bye bye, my lovelies.
bye.